Now, if you're one of those people who couldn't just get their editing right, then this video is just for you. Because today we're gonna chat about the top 5 editing mistakes that beginners make time and time again. Now let's get to number 1, cutting too fast. Now I'm gonna admit it. This has been a mistake that I make time and time again since day one. It's where I am so focused on cutting to the beat of the music that I ignore the fact that a lot of these shorts needed to be longer so that the pacing and the storytelling could be better in the video. Because that's what we learned when we were beginners, right? Like, you pick a cool music, you figure out where the beat of the music is, and you cut to it. But often when we're just focused on doing that, the pacing of your video is not gonna turn out great. When your audience watch the video, they're gonna find that the shots are cut way too fast. They're unable to comprehend what's going on in each shot. And you might ask me, like, Jason, well, there are a lot of great edits like out there that cuts the shot really fast. And let me tell you, those are like really good edits, and they take a certain amount of skill to pull that off. You know, because when you're cutting fast, there's a certain art to it. The shots need to be similar, or there has to be like a bit of a context to why the shots are cut so fast. So a lot of beginners don't understand that, and they're just cutting fast just for the sake of it. Now, a good habit is to actually cut the shots to how you think it's supposed to be cut, and then have your secondary focus on cutting to the beat of the song. So you don't want to be continuously cutting to every bit of the song, but choose specific moments from the song that you want to cut the beat to. For example, you probably want to choose to cut to the beat around the climax and at the climax. That's how you're going to make that part amazing. But for the rest of the song, you might want to just cut with your primary focus on making sure the shots are long enough. The second big editing mistake is overgrading. I'm sure you've seen tons of beginner videos where people in the video looks like they're really sick because like we've got the skin tones wrong, or there's some like weird blue or purple tint that goes over the whole video. I can keep going and going. There's just like so many different mistakes that I've saw, and there's also so many mistakes that I myself make as well. But check this out. This was like one of the videos that I made in my earliest years, and clearly I've lost my plot because that did not look good retrospectively. I think at that time I was like, that's 9 hours of grading. Fuck, this looks amazing. It's my masterpiece. But now I'm looking at it and it's like, it was so dumb, man. I think the biggest indicator of bad grading is when someone doesn't get the skin tone right. Because you can get everything right, but if people in your shots, they look like aliens, and it's like, nah, the video doesn't look natural at all. And another thing that could really affect colors is probably white balance. As beginners, when you're shooting, your camera setting is often on auto white balance. Even though they do a great job in detecting white balance in a lot of situations, there are a lot of times where the cameras will get it wrong. So it is your job to fix it in editing. If you don't fix it in editing, a lot of your shots are gonna look like these, or these. And these, your skin tones are gonna be wrong. There's gonna be weird tints that's going on in your shots. So trust me, you want to get your white balance right. So that's why the first step to every color grading process is to first get your white balance right. Make sure the things that are supposed to be white in your shot are white. You also want to make sure that your shots are correctly exposed. Now, once those two aspects are covered, then you'll start adjusting the colors, adjusting the tints in your shadows and highlights to get the desired look you want. Now, if you want to learn more about how we color grade and how we edit, we just launched our Filmmaker Accelerator course. In this course, we'll give you step-by-step tutorials and real-life examples on how we shoot, how we edit, how we pitch to clients, how we communicate with them and deliver top-notch services. So if you have dreams of turning your videography hobby into a full-time thing, please check out our course, link in the description down below. Now back to our third biggest editing mistake, and it is that a lot of beginners do no pre-production whatsoever before they shoot. And so what they'll do is they'll just shoot whatever that's going on in the shoot. And then when it comes to the editing, they'll sit down and have no idea where to start. I'm saying this because, of course, I've made this mistake before. Just went to a restaurant shoot whatever that they did. And when I sat down on my computer and look at all the footage, I'm like, fuck, I don't even know where to begin. And I'm just stuck there, my head's in a mess, and looking back, it was just so inefficient. Doing pre-production right before you shoot, even if it's just a little bit, it just helps so much when it comes to editing, because you sit down and you know exactly what kind of videos, what kind of style, and how many videos you're gonna create. So I'm gonna tell you what kind of pre-production we've done that help us the most when it comes to editing. The first one is just having a reference video and a short list. Having a reference videos is so important because it gives you an idea what your edit's gonna look like. What will the vibe of the videos feel like? What kind of like songs are you gonna pick for this edit? How fast are you gonna be cutting the shots? So when it comes down to editing, you know exactly the answers to those questions that I just asked. Doing the shot list itself, obviously, it helps with the shooting process, and you just make sure that you're getting all the shots that you need to make the video an engaging video. So when it comes to editing, you're like, thank God I did that shot list because I got this beautiful shot, I got this beautiful shots, I got a variety of shots for this action. So to the shot list, okay? And the second thing to do in your pre-production is to choose your song. Choosing the right music is so important because it really dictates how you bring emotion to your video, whether it's like feelings of excitement or feelings of like romantic shit or sadness. Like, songs are very important. So if you choose the song before you even shoot, you're gonna have like kind of like a good idea on like how to shoot and how to edit your video. Now, the fourth biggest editing mistake is being too much of a perfectionist. Let me tell you a story. I know this amazing videographer that I used to work with. We did a restaurant shoot together. She shot amazingly. She's a really good shooter. But 1 month after the shoot, when I connected with her again, she's like, Jason, I'm still struggling with the restaurant edit. I haven't pumped out one edit yet. I'm like, yo, it's been 1 freaking month since we did this restaurant social media shoot. Clearly, you're being too much of a perfectionist. You just need to get it going and you just need to get it done. I think a lot of people, including me, has made the same mistake before, where we just get stuck in our heads in editing, where like things are not going perfect, the shots doesn't look that good, or when the pacing is not going perfect and you just like, fuck, I don't want to continue with this edit, or I don't know what to do. We've all been there before, and my only advice to that is just keep going, because being a perfectionist doesn't help you improve. It's the continuous reps that helps you improve as a videographer and a filmmaker. It is so much better to finish the video and have it crap and keep revising it until you make it good than like being stuck and being a perfectionist and not doing anything at all. So whenever you have that bad feeling of like, oh, this isn't as good as it is, or I have no idea what to do, just keep going. Even if it's not as good as your standards, just keep going, because you can always keep revising it until it reaches the standards you want it to be. Because the more reps that you put in, the better you're gonna get in editing. Now, the fifth and the last biggest editing mistake is that we don't check our edit. We'll put in the hours, we'll put in the hard work just to finish this masterpiece, and we just export and give it to the client without checking it. Right? What I mean by checking it is watching the video from start to finish at least once after you export it. Why I say that? Because there were a lot of times where we make mistakes, like having like little black frames in our final export, or just like the music being cut out, or even the editing software not exporting it correctly. That has happened a lot of times before, especially with Final Cut Pro, which is the software we're using. When we don't check it and just give it to the client's gonna be pissed. They're gonna be like, these guys like didn't even bother to check their work. They don't have their hearts in it, and I don't really want to like hire them to do like any photo work in the future. Once you finish exporting, check your work at least once. Check it twice or 3 times if you're paranoid like my business partner, Jono. Just make it a good habit. Now that's it for today. Before I let you go, I want to let you in on another secret. I understand a lot of you want to get to a similar place to where we are right now. I suggest checking out our Filmmaker Starter Kit. It's basically a bundle of PDF templates detailing our journey of how we built this 6-figure production business. It talks about what kind of equipment we started off with, how we do pre-production, how we deliver our videos. So please check that out, link in the description down below. That's about it for this video. I'll see you next week. Stay focused.